Hi guys, welcome back to the unread chapter for our 6th episode. Today's guest is someone who's dedicating her life to a cause that affects so many but is really spoken about openly. After 20 years working within the NHS, she decided to take everything she'd learned and build something new, something that gives everyone a safe space to talk, heal and build. Joining me today is the founder of Strive, Linda Neville. Linda, thank you so much for coming on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
You're all good?
And yes, I am.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for having me. I'm delighted to be here.
I'm honoured that you're on here. Now, the NHS is a very interesting conversation that I am looking forward to having with yourself. Now, I understand that you've worked with the NHS now for 2 decades, and how did you find that in the mental health?
I found it's extremely interesting. I'll tell you a wee bit about how I got there because I think that's important.
You start how you want. Yeah.
Okay, so in 1985, I took myself from a small Scottish rural town to Glasgow to do my mental health nurse training. Mm-hmm. And I did that because I was rebelling. My mum and dad wanted me to do something else. They wanted me to be a dentist.
You wanted to do the opposite.
And I wanted to do my own thing.
It's always the way, innit, with us kids.
Yeah. And I had no idea what my own thing was. But this seemed like a good idea. And it got me to a city. So off I went. And when I got there, the rest of the people in my cohort were 3rd and 4th generation doctor and nurses. Mm-hmm. I hadn't come from a doctor or nurse background. Yeah. I had no idea. So I ended up in an asylum looking after people thinking, oh, good grief, where on earth am I? What on earth is happening? What is this all about? And it was completely fascinating.
How old was you then?
18.
18, right, okay.
18, yeah. And it was a huge asylum.
Yeah.
So one of my first mental health wards was females who'd been in hospital for a very, very long time. Mm. And they'd be middle-aged. They'd probably be my age now, back then. And what I found amazing very quickly was that these women went out to work every day to industrial units within the asylum. I'm calling it that because that's essentially what it was back then. And they didn't have their own clothes. They didn't have their own toiletries. They didn't have anything to identify themselves as females or
as a woman.
People or as human beings. Even the tea that they were served came in a massive, ginormous pot with the milk and sugar already added. So your choice around what you could have in your tea was limited.
You were given what you were given. Yeah.
And as a student nurse, you were given your clients, your ladies to look after. So you knew those were your 6 people. And in the morning, you had to run like the clappers to the linen cupboard to find a dress, a cardigan, a pair of pants, a vest, and a pair of tights that would fit the woman that you'd been given to look after.
Yeah.
And they had no choice. They were dressed in whatever I, as a 17-year-old, decided they should be wearing for that day.
So you had a big responsibility at the age of 18.
And it fascinated me that these women had no choice. And from then, it's been personalised care has been such a main feature for me. It's a really important thing. People having personal agency is the thing that drives me to keep doing what I do every day.
It's instilled in you from a young adult. So you've gone into, your working life within the NHS. So you found your niche, really, haven't you, when you were so young?
Yeah, luckily.
Yeah. So I can imagine, like, mental health in your sector that within the NHS can be very challenging as well.
Absolutely.
And draining, I would imagine. Because, we all try and help everybody. And it's easy to say, I'll leave it at the door, but you can't, can you?
No, you can't.
Because you've got a good heart.
Yeah.
I know, like, I couldn't leave things at the door and just forget and just deal with it the next day. If someone's in need, I'm there, So with your role, how did you become moving up in?
So I I very quickly, I stayed within acute clinical practice
Yeah.
for a long time. I was there for 13 years. So 13 years of my experience was working with acutely ill people on a face-to-face basis.
Yeah.
I then moved into a position, well, my mum died actually. And when my mum was dying, she said, you need to stop faffing about now. You need to try and do something a little bit more. Push yourself a wee bit harder. So I thought, okay then. So I got this job where the people who, it was on a ward where people had been physically, emotionally and sexually abused by the care team.
Wow.
And
Oh my God.
I applied for the role to take over as the leader. Didn't think I'd get it because I had no experience of anything like that, but I got it.
Doubted yourself,
I did.
yeah.
Totally doubted myself.
We
thought,
all
"Look,
do it. We're all guilty of it.
yeah, got it
Yeah.
and thought, woohoo, and then thought, oh God, now what? So I looked after that team for 4 years, and it was fabulous, a fabulous experience because it taught me such a lot about power dynamic. It taught me a lot about protection, vulnerability, domestic violence, all that kind of stuff. And then I moved to Leicester, and I moved here on the back of, do you remember Holly and Jessica dying? They were killed by Ian Huntley.
Oh, wow. God, that's some time ago,
Yeah,
that,
it's a
isn't it?
long,
How
long
many
time.
years ago was that?
So that was 2000, and I came in 2004, and that had happened a couple of years beforehand.
That was horrific, that.
It was
I couldn't
dreadful.
believe what I was hearing on the news. Like,
It was
just,
horrendous. And on the back of Ian Huntley's conviction, there was a big report that said actually services weren't talking to each other. So we
Wow.
weren't sharing soft information about people who were potentially dangerous across the country. And what they wanted was someone to take a lead in mental health and to try and encourage those conversations. And that was my job initially. And then from then, director of nursing, and then to director of adult mental health services.
wow. I mean, for not sharing information, I'm sure that's not the first time that's happened, because
No.
you hear it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's vital that they are all communicating.
Yeah.
And it really, I won't swear, but it really, but pisses me off because of the things that I hear all the time, things like this, and it's just horrendous. But you've moved your way up,
Yeah.
and, you know, you've found passion
Yeah.
in what you love, and you've turned it into purpose. And now look at what you've done now.
Yeah.
You've departed ways with the NHS. You're not comfortable with the way things are and what you've seen. You've learned from what you've seen and gone, no, I'm going to change things. And set up your own clinic. It's
Yeah.
a Strive.
Yeah.
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 So where is that based? Is it online, or is it got a stationery in Leicester?
It's based in Leicester. Our headquarters
Yeah.
are in Leicester, but we are basically working across the country. We work online, and what we wanted to do with Strive was be able to reach as many people as possible. When I left the NHS, I set up in private practice, and obviously you can only help the person who's sitting in front of you.
Yeah, yeah.
And what we wanted to do was extend that to help as many people as humanly possible in a sensible way. So that's what Strive's about. So Strive is it's a mental fitness platform. It looks at helping people. It meets people where they are.
Yeah.
It assesses people where they are, and it then takes them on a journey at their pace to be able to make the changes that they need to make. And it takes me back to that personal agency. You know, everybody has within them the ability to make a change.
Definitely. I mean, God, my life has done a 360 this year. I could tell you, you'd need more than a day anyway, but I can shrink it down in 5 minutes. But yeah, I've had a hell of a journey. I've seen a lot in life, and I just want to say it's amazing what you're doing with Strive, and I would back anything like that all day. It's something that I want to get involved in. All these mental health side of things, because there's not enough of it. No one's got to go to, have they?
No.
You know, I struggled, but I struggled and kept it in, wore a mask every day. No one had no idea when I was going home and crying my eyes out. And I was in a dark place, basically, and I'm here living and smile every day. And this year, just seeing myself, just embracing life and doing, like, obviously this show, which is obviously to bring people like yourself on to inspire others out there. I love doing things like this, and I'm getting back to doing what I'm doing, but this year's just been amazing. Yeah, awakening and self-discovery, but I think it's amazing what you're doing for the people. But also, I believe it's for men and women as well. It's not just men that can come to you.
Yeah, we work with anyone who's human. So what we look at doing is help people to understand that human distress is inevitable. We're all going to experience it at some point. It doesn't have to be medicalised. It doesn't have to be turned into a condition that needs treatment. It is actually finding the way for yourself on how you manage that.
Like challenging, like, channeling the mind and, learning them to focus on.
Yeah, and helping people understand themselves so they can intervene early when their coping strategies are starting to be challenged. Because everybody needs something different. For you, part of your recovery and self-development is looking at doing a podcast and helping other people. Now, for other people, that would just be an absolute no way can that help me get anywhere. I'd rather sit in a corner and knit. And for them, that's right and proper, and that's what they should be doing.
I'm a people person, me. I mean, I'll talk the leg off a donkey, you know what I mean? I mean, it would look a bit strange me doing so. But I think, like, the mental health, like what you're involved with, it will grow massively. As I say, I do want to get involved in something like that, and I will have a little chat with you about that, because, as I say, I've experienced things, my mum, with domestic violence that I seen when I was a child, and there's a lot of people that have experienced different things in their life. We've all got stories, haven't we? Yeah. And a lot of them are unaired, and if we can bring them to this show, then great, because it might help people, open up and lift the lid off that pan, from all that they've kept inside. And then that, I find, like so what you do, you learn people to go deep first.
Yeah, and what we do is we offer people a range of options. So the platform's obviously static. Yeah. It's a library of resources. Okay. But the person is supported by a mentor. And so it's not therapy, as in deep therapy. The mentor is there to guide you and point you in the direction of the work that you need to do. So we pace it. It's about baby steps. It's
touch on,
to do something that they are actually going to do, and they're going to keep doing consistently. Because we all have great ideas. Everybody's going to go to the gym, lose 10 pounds and do loads of stuff, but they don't do any of it.
Well, do you know, like in life, we all say we're going to do things, don't we? I mean, I come up with this yesterday, a couple of days ago, and some people, you're sick of hearing them saying, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this, going to do that, and you feel like saying, liar, your bum's on fire, you've got toes as long as your telephone wired, you know what I mean? But we've got to, like, just do it, haven't we? Yeah. Like, mean what we say.
Yeah, and that's what our mentors do. So our mentors will pace your homework, we call it that, but it kind of is that anyway. Pace your homework to what you can do. Yeah. So that when you come back in a fortnight time, we are expecting you to say, I've done it. And if you've not done it, then we know that we have to pace it a little bit slower. A little bit different. We have to find the thing that you can engage with, that you can consistently keep doing.
So you're getting to know them as a person, one-to-one, and finding the niche in them and working on that to give them some hope and getting them out of that dark place to see the light again. Yeah. So do you have more men coming to you, or?
We probably have 50-50. The men that come to us come with a different attitude than women.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yes. I'm going to get to something in a minute, because
So women come with they've talked to their friends, they've read a book, they've explored what they think's wrong with them, and they come and sit in front of us and say, this is me, this is what I've got, and this is what I think I need to do. And quite often they're wrong. You have to sort of unravel that and help them with that. But men come with a more open mind. They come with a vulnerability usually, a real bravery, and a real desire to change. And they come with a, can you help me?
Oh.
And when you say, yes, I can, they're usually so relieved and so tearful and so grateful and so ready. And they're sort of like, right, come on then, what am I doing? What do I need to do first?
I can see, like, it's took real guts, like, you know, courage for a man to come to anybody for help, because that's unheard of. Men will bottle it in for years and probably never ever say anything. And you know, they go down different paths in life, drugs, alcohol, what have you. And sadly, you know, comes suicide because they've got no way out. Yeah. And I'll talk about what I've learned about that, because, like, in the past, I've known people who have committed suicide, and some say they were selfish. And the fact that I've been in that position myself, I mean, I was running a company, 57 staff from nothing, and then everything in my life changed. The chapter changed in my life. Then, when I was then in that dark place, I understood these people who I know who committed suicide. I understood the situation that they were in at that time, because when you're going through the worst times of your life, and despite what you've got, doesn't matter what you've got, but you're not thinking of all the people that you love, because you can't see past this darkness. And you're like, and, you know, I found the light, and I remember my mum's brilliant. My mum is my queen. And she said, turn your pain into power. And I ploughed through everything, and that's what I've done. And I'm so grateful to have such a wonderful mum with such a beautiful soul. And sadly, people who have lost their lives on, you know, by doing this, they wouldn't have meant to have done it. And that's, I'll probably start crying now, but that's the hardest thing for their families to like digest. But they were so lost, and they didn't want to worry anyone, and they've taken that way out, and deep down they wouldn't have really wanted that. So me this year, it's just such a wonderful feeling that, you know, I turned it around. But that's the understanding. I hope anyone that is watching in and listening in, that's my understanding of that they are confused and they just needed someone to talk to, or just know someone was there. But yeah, we never know, do we, what people are thinking, because we all wear a mask.
Yeah, and people are very good at wearing masks.
Yeah.
And I think when people are in the depths of despair and in the depths of feeling unworthy, because that's what they're feeling, isn't it? They feel that they're no longer able to provide a function to their family, to the world, to and that's a really horrible, sad place to be. Feeling like that, there is a mask that you have to wear. You have to socially.
It's survival, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because, you know, if you walk around looking like you're vulnerable, you know, everyone will take advantage of you and all that, won't they? But I think sometimes in life as well, like, you know, like mental health, you'll go around doing everything for everyone else, but then all of a sudden you're like, what have I got? Who's doing this and that for me, you know? Yeah. You know, but you can give and give and give, can't you? And then all of a sudden you're like, well, what about me? But I think it's wonderful what you're doing. But in terms of like, so say, because I have people that message me all the time, and it's hard to keep up with these messages. I was jumping on a plane at Manchester Airport for a flight, and I had messages, and I had a voice note for help. And I'm about to jump on a plane, and I'm like, oh my God, my heart sank. They didn't want to be here anymore. Yeah. and I made a contact, as I was getting on the plane to just say, like, can you help and whatnot? But yeah, it wasn't great knowing that I'm going on a 7-hour flight, like, but they're okay now, so that's good.
It's a worry though, isn't it? When somebody does something like that, it does.
Yeah.
You then feel that you want to move in with them practically to keep an eye on them all
I
the
know.
time.
Babysit them, I know, and set them up. I've been there for many. I think I'd like to sit a few on the sofa whose lives have changed and that by just talking to them as well. Some have gone to university, even though they've come to work for me, and I've seen that there's other qualities in them, and especially the NHS, they worked for me. I was contracted with the NHS, so I brought them in and they work for me there, and they've gone on into uni now, doing the nursing and things like that. So it's incredible. Actually got a message off one of them 2 weeks ago because he seen me on the unread chapter and he was like, oh my God. So I will catch up with the guy very soon. So in terms of these, because when you're out of mental health, where will they find you?
So they'll find us online.
Okay.
So find us online at strive-online.co.uk.
Okay.
And we are not a crisis service, so we're not a helpline.
Okay.
If for crisis and instant access, you've got other charities, you've got places like Samaritans, that kind of thing.
Okay.
What we do though is we do work with people in crisis. So we help people to understand where they're at. We help them to safety plan. We help them to build coping strategies to manage that. And then we help them think going forward how they're going to recognise when they need to intervene with themselves again. Lots of what we do is about giving people different opportunities to think about what it means for them. Because lots of information out there is, do this and you'll feel better. Think a positive thought and this will happen. Do whatever. Yeah. And that's not the case. Everybody is absolutely different. Some of these things work for some people, but they don't work for everybody and they don't work all of the time. And our job is the focus of what we do is giving people information at their pace to help them to make their decisions around their life and put in place the things that are going to keep them healthy and happy.
So will this be over the phone, like appointments?
We do. Our appointments are online and they're either by Teams or Zoom, so it's face-to-face. And because it is about the human contact. It's about being able to see the non-verbals.
Oh, God, definitely. I mean, over the phone, you like to know, eye contact. I'm an eye contact person, me. Yeah. You get that? Yeah.
And we're building a community as well. So we have free events as well. So we do a webinar on a monthly basis. And that webinar is educational, usually. It's about someone, we pick a key of happiness. Last night, for example, we talked about direction and change. And our speaker was someone who is living with muscular dystrophy. So it was really powerful coming from a personal perspective.
Wow. Yeah.
It's about giving people as much access as possible to real life stories to say, oh, that resonates with me. I could give that a go. Yeah. Or maybe, actually, that's not for me. But helping people understand that you've got choice. You don't have to like everything. You don't have to try everything. You don't.
Just be you, you, isn't it?
Your life is yours to be curious.
Exactly.
It's yours to choose.
Yeah. And while we're still here, you make your own decisions and enjoy life. How you want it, and respectfully and be kind to others, isn't it? Because kindness always comes back to you, doesn't it? So in terms of like funding such mental health and things like that, like obviously we know there's not enough out there, but where does the funding side come into all this? Because the appointments and that at the doctors, well, I can't get hold of my doctors on the phone, so I have to drive there and then I have to wait 4 weeks for an appointment. If you try and go private, which I haven't, by the way, I stick to, the usual, unless, I need to go to the hospital, do you know what I mean? But even if you was private, you can't get seen in an emergency, can you?
No.
Because I know I had sepsis last November and it was horrendous. And I was like, I'm going to have to start going private. But I heard that you don't get seen in emergency or something like for an appointment. I was like, well, what's the point in paying that? But like for, you know, mental health and things, like, it's like, obviously it can be stressful because you're running it, aren't you? And you've got to keep it going.
Yeah.
You're putting all your time and effort into there, and that can, you know, as I said earlier, it can be draining. So your whole like line of like work is all being about helping others, and now you're running your own.
Yeah.
Like obviously the NHS is running the finances and all that you had, you know, in the role you had there was mega massive, yeah.
Yeah, well, when you think about it, I left in 2012, and my operating budget at that point was 100 million.
Oh my God.
And my capital
Do you know
budget
that?
was 50 million.
100 million.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, yeah, my personal budget is nowhere near that at all. You know, we are running on a shoestring. Yeah. And that's fine. But I think the challenge around mental health now is that we've raised the profile, which is absolutely right and proper. And there's more education to do in helping people to understand how to manage themselves, and that's what we're trying to do. Because, you know, not everybody who has a mental health experience needs to be seen by a specialist mental health practitioner or needs to be on medication. It's a bit like saying everybody who has chest pain needs to be seen by a cardiologist.
Yeah.
It might be indigestion, you might be having a panic attack, you might have a chest infection. You know, it's not a cardiologist that you need. It could be.
Yeah, well, I don't Google anything anymore because I wouldn't be sitting in this chair, you know.
No, well, this is it. I mean, if you Google it, that's it. You've got something dreadful and you need to be.
Got a cold, but really my leg's falling off or something. So as I say, like, I know like a couple of foundations and that they like lean on other companies, you know, helping with funding and things. So have you got any support like that with this, or are you just basically...
No, we are basically a private... So from Strive Online point of view, we are a privately run company. And we work with employers, so we look after teams of people, which is great work. And we work with individuals as well. And we've just started working with Modern Men Movement, which is a CIC.
Okay.
So we will be supporting the men as part of that movement to help make sure that, you know, peer group support is absolutely fantastic.
Definitely, yeah.
But it just takes you a distance. And what we want to do is make sure that for the people who want to go that little bit further, want to work that little bit harder, explore other options, they've got that available to them as well.
That's amazing. So you've got them on board as well. So they've got to go to there. So, you know, before the show ends and that, we'll make sure we've got all the details for all the guys there back home, because, you know, it's always handy to have websites, contact numbers or emails for the support there. I can imagine, like, obviously setting such a company up, you're thinking out the box as well for that emergency contact as well. You've got all that on there.
So for our process, your first step is you do your assessment, your wellness assessment. Your second assessment, your second step is your safety plan. From your safety plan, we have links to absolutely every charity and every support service that you could possibly think about. It's listed alphabetically. So it's listed from, it can be debt, sexuality, you know, whatever it happens to be. So if it's anything specialist as well, that you need something instantly, we've got the access.
You need the specialist teams and people for that.
We've got the information there for people to use. And what we are trying to do is help people manage themselves, you know, to give back that personal agency, to help them understand where they are and how they can intervene with themselves. Because I think what the NHS has done, in my opinion, is we've moved we're disabling people. We keep assessing people and then we keep putting them on a waiting list and they've got to wait. And meanwhile, whilst they're waiting, those symptoms are becoming entrenched, those thought patterns are becoming entrenched, those behaviours are becoming entrenched. So their ability to think about change and feeling better is getting less and less and less as that time goes on. You know, we need to intervene quickly. People who are feeling unhappy, unsettled, distressed need something now, not in 18 months' time. And even if that's just something simple that they can do for themselves, that's better than nothing. It's better than sitting in isolation, waiting for this miraculous thing that's going to arrive in 18 months' time.
See, we can't, like, sometimes, like, life pasts and stuff, looking in the rear view sometimes helps you to see how far you've come.
Absolutely.
But in what you've gone through in the past and that, like I always say, like, you know, if you keep looking in the past and, you know, or what you've gone through, then you'll end up building the same house, do you know what I mean? Yeah. You've just got to go, no, I'm looking forwards and this is my focus. This is what I want out of life and, you know, and do you. But yeah, there's the men, I feel that it's more harder for them to open up.
Absolutely. I think for generations and generations, we've encouraged men and boys to be strong, be silent, crack on, do whatever, haven't we? And then, you know, we now want them to be vulnerable, but we haven't taught them the language to use to be vulnerable. They don't know what to say or how to say it.
Because men think that they need to be like the wall, like the protector and the provider and what have you. But obviously it's all changed now. Women are there and women, you know, whoever, you know, the people are married and, you know, it's not all about who's got the best job or not. And it doesn't matter who's got the best job. At the end of the day, the money's coming to the same place and you're all living a life, you know, comfortable or making sure you've got what you need. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, like a macho thing, isn't it? Like the men need to, you know, be in like charge and stuff. I've always been in my masculine energy all my life, so I wouldn't really know that bit, but I do know like men, people who I've known of or people who, you know, I know who've know of, and they hold it all in and, you know, they've got to let it out. If they need to cry, let it out. It's big release, that, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Big release. So
I think we need to educate them on how to understand what it is they're feeling.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody, you know, some of the men that I speak to will say, oh, this happened, and I'll say, oh, how did that make you feel? And they haven't got the words.
Yeah. Because they're not used to saying it, you see.
Yeah. And they'll say things that the emotion that they can describe very well is anger or frustration. They will avoid sadness.
See, you know, like, I mean, some people are just born that horrible, aren't they? Really nasty and that. But sometimes, like if you bottle it in, it can affect your mood and affect the way you are with people. Like, people go on and meet, like, someone and think, oh, no, can't live without them. But they don't get on. There's no balance.
No.
So it's like they're like loggerheads, and it's like, what do they get from that? Do you know what I mean? And, you know, but yeah, life is all about balance, isn't it?
Absolutely.
But no, I think it's amazing what you do.
Thank you.
And I am very, like, it's warm to my heart, okay? So I, like, as a child, I did see a lot as a child. And I went to a woman's refuge with my mum. And she was really badly beaten continuously, and I seen it all.
And that has an impact, doesn't it? That you carry that forward. There's an echo with that.
Yeah, and I've had, like, you know, therapy and things like that. But seeing my mum hating, you know, beaten and things in front of me and that, and she's lucky she's alive to die. And I was in this refuge, and yeah, I had a balloon as my best mate.
Wow.
I didn't have no mates or nothing. And I remember as a kid, me mum's friend brought a birthday card over with a helium balloon, and we used to, they're like sheltered places, aren't they, with apartments in. We used to share one with this other lady and a little girl. I remember a little dark-haired little girl, about 3 or 4. It was about 7, me. And she opened the window and that balloon went out the window.
Oh, no.
Oh, I cried my eyes out. That was my best mate. Have you seen the film Castaway?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, where he's got the football, Wilson.
Yeah.
So that balloon was my mate, but I didn't have a name for it. Like, it was just me Bezzy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my mates back then. I didn't really have friends until like past 9, 10. Like, where I'd get to know them when we moved back home. But yeah, so I've had a life of seeing a lot, but I've grown up too quick.
Yeah.
You know, starting my entrepreneurial ways at age 9, you know, and looking where I can save money and cutting the middleman out for the paper rounds and going to the Liverpool Echo to get a better deal. Who does that? But it's not done me any harm. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Because it's built me into who I am today. And
I suppose it's given you resilience, hasn't it? It's given you permission to be brave and innovative and creative and all of those things.
But I love who I am. I give back and I know what it's like and, you know, to not have nothing. And I'm fearless.
Yeah.
So I'm not scared to lose everything because I'll go and get it again.
Yeah. So what's next for you then?
So I've got a company. I started that in 2016 from a special dream. I had a special dream in the year 2000 and lost my granddad. So it was on hold for a bit 'cause he was someone who I looked up to. And then I was working I had a bit of a back injury. So I took a bit of time out and anyway, the surgery was great, like, so I got myself I don't know whether I should say this, like a temporary job to just build myself back up in a gym. And I had to leave the job because I was obviously trained in all things before this job, do you know what I mean? But it was a stopgap for me. And they were all lovely in there, but people who I was working with at the time in the office, I was doing well. But yeah, we just didn't get on. Oh. But I kept it to myself. And yeah, one time, I don't know whether I can say this. Can I say this, guys, or what? Okay, a lot of people know this, but since that day is when I set my company up. So yeah, you'll probably laugh, I don't know. But yeah, so one of them was talking about their own feet, my feet, effing like smell like, and I was like, I know. So she went, you are? Stood up. So then I stood up and the other one stood up and I was just like, I've been smelling them all week. You've just admitted you've got smelly feet and I'm just telling you and I've been smelling them all week. So I had to leave that room because I was fuming. So I just said to the front desk, tell the manager I'm leaving. Too good for this place. And I left.
Wow.
And that day I set up this company. And I sketched out my logo and things of what I wanted. And I gave myself 4 weeks. And people laughed at me. And I proved them wrong.
Well done.
So, yeah, I scaled quite a bit of money over 9 years. Obviously, I had to coast it for the last 4. But, yeah, I had done because of my mental health at the time. But if someone says you can't do nothing,
it's a bit
you're going to do the opposite, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
So they do look on. They probably hear this as well, but yeah, that's for you. So yeah, I've put people in work and I've put people on the right path.
Good.
Because that's how I'm built.
Yeah.
I'm not in this for myself.
Yeah. And is that what you're going to keep doing?
Yeah, I love what I do. I've got a system I've built me head for 6 years. Because the first, like, 3, I was building and building and building. Set it up with £43, £12 on company's house, and £31 on cleaning products. I even bought washing pegs. Don't know what I was going to do with them, like, but yeah, I work with the biggest construction companies in the country.
Well done.
I got one of the best house builders, well, top house builder is one of my clients. And this system I've built is not only going to support my company to go national, it's going to support my clients as well. Because I've seen like basically something that will help them with customer care and bring the customer care levels down, and assist site managers and their team. So as I say, I'm not in nothing for myself. I'm in with working with my clients, you know, happy staff, happy clients. Absolutely. And things, but it's just bringing the right staff in who know what you're about, and understand the brand. But yeah, I'm gonna go live officially January, but we're having like trial runs, the run up to December.
So exciting couple of months ahead then.
Yeah. It's stressful though.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
If someone was in my head, they'd run a mile.
Yeah, I hear that all the time. Yeah, it's one of the most common things that people will say to us, you know, that their head is like buzzing, or they've got so many thoughts that you don't know what to do with them, and they can't get to sleep, and they can't sit still, and they can't distract themselves and things. So
do you find when you're not doing that and you feel like you need to do something?
Well, yes, but I also I meditate every morning. I'm a part of a meditation club, and the reason I'm part of a meditation club is because if I wasn't, and I didn't know that people were relying on me being there, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So it's part of the accountability, and I do that every morning. So from 7:30 to 5 to 8 every morning, I meditate with a group of other people, and then I practice throughout the day.
But it's good for you too. As well, because you do need that like balance as well yourself, because of what you're dealing with day to day. And I would imagine it's 24/7 with yourself. It doesn't stop, does it?
It's the same as everybody. I'm a business owner as well as, and I have to look calm. Nobody wants to come and see a person who calls himself a mindfulness expert looking frazzled.
Exactly, but I think it takes a lot to be in business, a businesswoman or businessman. I think you've got to have the right mindset as well. You've got to be very calm, you know, and always look at things in, you know, obviously we all come across issues in whatever, in life and whatever, but if you look at, you know, if you just take a step back instead of going, you know, I'm mentoring my son, he's 23, but he's a panicker, and I'm like, about everything, can I go, Thomas, just stop for a minute, right, just sit down, let's say that again, right, okay, so the best way to go about X, Y, and Z is this, because if you just stop from that, like all the running for a minute, it will help how you solve the problem, won't it?
Yeah.
Positive, you know, thinking, positive outcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
We
teach people, one of the main things that we focus on with people is, because our team is predominantly hypnotherapists as well, we train people to recognise the need for deep relaxation. So 20 minutes of proper relaxation a day is enough to replenish and nourish and just reset your mind in a place of, okay, I know what I'm doing. But if you keep yourself in that heightened state, your cognition goes, your ability to think and remember just starts to diminish.
That's when you know you're doing too much. We've all been there. I mean, this week has been like, 'cause you have like in a company, you have all your financials and that, and it can get quite heavy, can't it?
Absolutely.
But anything else you would like to say that you think will help the public with what you're, you know, doing?
I think the main message that I would like to say to people is that, you know, life is tough. There is always going to be something happening.
Yeah.
If you're having a good time, great. But we know there's a bad time coming. If we're having a bad time, you know, try and ride it out. There's a good time coming. Nothing is permanent.
Yeah.
But we tend to apportion permanence to everything.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we tend to measure ourselves and we compare ourselves against other people. Other people are struggling as well. They're wearing that mask, and we choose to believe that the mask that they're wearing is real life. It's not. Nobody is having a great time. We're all doing our absolute
we're all
best.
surviving, aren't we?
Yeah.
And we're all trying to live life happy.
Yeah,
But I always say as well, like, you know, whatever place you're in now isn't forever.
no,
But only you can help yourself.
yeah. And sometimes it's not even about doing anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to just wait.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to sit
Ride
it
it
out.
out.
You know, if it's a grief, then likely you have to ride it for a time.
Yeah.
Some situations you cannot think yourself out of. But be kind is my main thing. Be kind. Remember that human beings are fallible. Remember that you're going to experience distress, and reach out. Speak to people. Speak to the people who love you. They are the most important.
Oh, definitely, 100%. Yeah, if you've got anyone, guys, to speak to, do speak to them and open up.
And remember, there's professional support there as well. Companies like mine and charities as well that are there to help.
But we're not in that place forever.
No.
So it's vision, isn't it? Holding on to that vision. So where you want to be, just keep focusing on that, and where you are at now ain't forever. Yeah, because in life, that's all I've done, focused
And it's baby
on
steps.
visions.
Some days, if the best you can do is get up and have a shower, then that's fine.
No. Well, Linda, I would like to say thank you very much for coming on the show today. It's been an interesting conversation. You got a bit out of me as well there, but we touched on mental health, guys. So I hope you all liked the show today, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in to the Unread Chapter. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It is free, guys, okay? All the website details for Linda's company called Strive will be on this episode after this. So take care, guys. See you all soon.